One Zambia, one nation. Hello and welcome to the news to present. My name is Henry Himonde. The top stories in our news. President Hakainde Hichilema visits Ghana's recycling plant. Kapiri Girls Secondary School to reopen on July 17th. Zambia National Service offloads Millimil in Kabwe. And in sports, Mansa Council set to host Zalasa Games. The news in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema has assured private companies that government will provide the necessary support for them to thrive. President Hichilema was speaking in reference to a waste management company operating in Ghana that also has its presence in Zambia, but had difficulties in implementing its vision in the previous government. The head of state wanted to understand why Accra's biggest recycling company, which set base in Zambia several years ago, has not managed waste, which has proved to be a menace in the country. President Hichilema was speaking when he visited Zambia's leading waste management company, where he was taken on a conducted tour of the plant for the purposes of helping him understand the model which they are using to turn waste into cash.
President Hakainde Hichilema has visited Ghana's leading waste management plant. The president wants to learn and appreciate the model being used to treat waste and other recyclable materials. The company, which also has a plant in Zambia, has adopted an innovative approach that has seen Ghana manage waste.
These plastics were all new cells in the country. We started mobilizing, collecting the plastics, turning them into dustbins. So we recycle them, grind them, and then we turn them into a dustbin. And then the lighter ones, we turn them into inner liner that will have to be placed in the dustbin. Then the oil waste, we treated it. We look at it, and then we started looking at how most of the people that hauling the waste alongside the main street gets into challenges. So we instituted what we call a transfer station. So you carry the waste in a tricycle, you go to close by, and then you are able to discharge into it, and then you transfer to the treatment plant where we are now. So this is a transfer station.
But despite this company's presence in Lusaka, Kabwe and Ndola, waste still remains a problem in the country.
More wider than maybe what they have been in a couple of years in the past. So you find this government eminent to work with you in this initiative. I see Chunga there, I see Chingola, closer to this colleague of mine, Minister of Mines. I see you're talking about mining stuff, and the challenge is there, filling the tanks, also mining, stuff. And Kabwe is another situation. Basically the whole country. Yes. But being in Chunga, that's the biggest one.
Thank you very much.
So maybe the issue is that, what do you want us to do to get to move to the level you are in Ghana?
To help address the problem of waste, government has since assured political will to enable private companies thrive.
To be honest, waste is a big menace on our continent, and it's contaminating our water systems, polluting our water systems. I saw the cleaning of the water bodies. We have a challenge, already, since you're in Zambia. I don't have to sing the song, you already understand it. So,
and the biggest challenge that we've had, I noticed even there, is that we have not deliberately started sorting the rubble, the waste from source. And slowly but surely, we have seen it starting from offices where we have plastic, organic, as well as glass. But I think to just echo what His Excellency the President has mentioned, we are in a hurry to actually turn this waste into cash.
Once this model is replicated, the country is assured of turning heaps of garbage into cash. Sheila Masua reporting in Accra, Ghana.
Still on news from Ghana, President Hakainde Hichilema has urged graduating students at Valley View University in Ghana to regard hardships as an opportunity for greater opportunities. President Hichilema briefly narrated how he was imprisoned 15 times before attaining the highest office. The president said the hardships he went through were an opening for him to restore the rule of law as he understood the injustice that was prevailing while in prison. The head of state told the over 1,000 graduates that such an experience was God's way of allowing him to attain the highest office and further encourage the students to see suffering as an opportunity for better opportunities. President Hichilema said leadership is a huge burden, but with a positive attitude, anyone can manage, stating that one's background does not limit success. He further commended the university for imparting positivity into students because it is among the good ingredients that makes good leaders. And Valley View University Chief of Staff Frema Opare praised President Hichilema for his dedication to improving Zambia's economy. Ms. Opare noted that since Mr. Hichilema attained office, he has made significant milestones such as free education and increase in the Constituency Development Fund, among others.
Ever inspiring anthem of Valley View University. Thank you. Thank you. Please shall we this one. Thank you so much.
I know the Chief of Staff gave quite some good stuff about this fellow talking. But this fellow also, to get the presidents, went to jail 15 times. 15 times. The last time I went to jail, I was on the death row. I was on treason. I was accused of treason. Never committed treason. No, don't worry about it. I'm not a criminal. It was a way of keeping me away from public office. But I used to tell guys in prison looking very depressed, I said, did you commit a crime? He says, no. So why are you depressed? Don't worry, relax. People will come and see me, visit me in prison, and they look at me wearing all those things. They start crying. I say, why are you crying? There's nothing to cry about. He knows. Little did I know that that was God's desire to walk me through the dark side. So when we form government, we can restore the rule of law.
2021, His Excellency Dr. Hakainde Hichilema was elected as the President of Zambia with the highest voter turnout figures ever recorded in the country. He won the hearts of many young people with his campaign that focused on creating jobs and rebuilding the economy.
Now, BIZ brand ambassador Evans Ngoma says his organization recognizes the importance of holding an international trade fair, which is aimed at enhancing networks and helping to profile the business brand locally and internationally. Mr. Ngoma says following the significant role that trade exposition play in accelerating economic development, BIZ participated in showcasing its local products for the second time this year. Speaking during a media briefing to reflect on the entity's participation in the just-ended trade fair, Mr. Ngoma said the platform provided room for the organization to discover new customers and progressive partnerships. He said BIZ believes in stimulating the consumption of locally produced goods and services while leveraging support for domestic firms to promote homegrown entrepreneurship. Mr. Ngoma has called on government to collaborate more with the private sector in order to host such events more than once a year.
Friends from the media, captains of industry, ladies and gentlemen, BIZ recognizes the importance of tailor-made trade investment promotion platforms such as the International Trade Fair, expos, as well as shows, given their inherent strength and enhancing network help to profile the business brands. In addition, this event helps discover new customers and is a good platform for showcasing new products on the market, including building progressive partnerships through clinching investment deals to expand the firm's business portfolios. BIZ therefore wishes to urge the new Dawn government through the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry and Zambia Development Agency ZDA to effectively collaborate with private sector in order to host a number of such trade and investment promotion events across the country in order to entrench a culture of business networking.
In education news, Minister of Education Douglas Siagalima has announced July 17, 2023 as the date for the reopening of Kapiri Girls National Technical School, which was closed on May 18, 2023 after a series of infernos swept through 3 dormitories and destroyed property for pupils. Mr. Siagalima declared that the school will not close during the August second term break to allow students to catch up with work on the school calendar. He made the pronouncement after inspecting progress on repair works of the affected dormitories at the institution, which only partially reopened to examination classes on June 18th. Here's a report.
Over a month ago, a spate of fires destroyed 3 dormitories and pupils' property, prompting the closure of Kapiri Girls National Technical School. But now, repair works on the dormitories have advanced to facilitate the full reopening of the school, which recently partially reopened for examination classes.
There are 3 buildings which were affected. We've started working on 2. We are currently working on Mushimbili and Ngabwe. So the works involved, these 2 hostels, it's not so much work involved, it's largely painting. And also we had to do the preparing of the surfaces. We are talking about replacing of the doors which are damaged and also replacing the glass panes that were broken. So we anticipate that these works within the course of this week, they'll be done.
Minister of Education Douglas Siagalima has inspected progress on the repair works and announced the full reopening of the school on 17th July 2023.
I can never imagine if we had lost a life, what it was going to be. And whoever was involved, and wherever they are, they should not have done that. The police are telling me, they are alleging some of you people could have done that. They are also alleging some of you teachers could have done that. They are also alleging it could have been an outsider who did that. But whoever did that, life could have been lost.
Kwame Nkrumah University has become the latest institution to donate to the school.
Financially, we are donating a sum of 70,000 kwacha and in material form, we are donating a total of 200 mattresses.
The school will remain open during the August 2nd term break to catch up with other schools. Carlos Zanis, Kaprimposhi.
We now take you to Northwestern Province, where Mwichechipoya reports that the National Union for Miners and Allied Workers has commended government for formulating policies that are favorable for the growth of the mining sector. Speaking during the official opening of the regional office in Solwezi, President So Simujika said the expansion to Solwezi is due to the demand of the mining union in the region. Here's a report.
The National Union of Miners and Allied Workers, NUMAL, has officially opened its regional office in Solwezi district of Northwestern Province. Assistant Labour Commissioner Kaunda Mwale is happy with the development.
As you may know, NUMAL is one of the biggest unions that we have in the mining sector, and it's just gratifying to see that today they are opening this provincial office here in Northwestern Province. This could not have come at a better time than this. We have seen that the various big mines that we currently host in Northwestern Province are expanding. Now that expansion would entail that new people will be recruited to work in these mines, and as these new workers are recruited, they would need representation.
NUMAL President So Samujika has implored members to register with the union.
We have the potential to become very big, and it is at this time that I would want to encourage and call upon all the miners to actually come and work with us, because the leadership that we have has got the member at heart. We are determined to make sure that the plight of the member, the plight of the miner is attended to, and attended to effectively.
And FKM Roads chairman has urged members to fully utilize the office.
To our members, feel free, let them come here. This is their office, just like the president has said. Even us who are in leadership, we should also do it effectively, do it wholeheartedly.
NUMAL Vice Secretary gave a vote of thanks.
The decentralization of this office will enable officials, that is union officials, to do their work with ease and also implement its various programs and agendas without any problems.
Mwiche Chipoya for Zanis News in Solwezi District, Northwestern Province.
Zanis News continues. Shibuyunji District Commissioner Alfred Shaputu has flagged off the distribution of 40 center kits to 14 health facilities in the district. Speaking during the flagging off ceremony, Mr. Shaputu said health kits are meant to improve service delivery in the health facilities dotted across the district. Tina Kabamba now gives us more in the following report.
The Zambia Medical Stores Agency has commenced the distribution of center kits around the country. Shibuyunji District has not been left behind in the development. Speaking after receiving the center kits, Shibuyunji District Commissioner Alfred Shaputu says the arrival of the drugs is an indication of government's commitment to bringing healthcare services closer to the people.
This is for the first time in Shibuyunji District that we receive kits like this, where I've seen almost every drug is there, and the doctor is saying we are now at 97.9. For me, it's 98. So we are at 98%. I hope these medicines, which the government has spent a lot of taxpayers' money, it will reach the intended targets.
And speaking at the same function, Shibuyunji District Health Director Dr. Evans Mulia stated the importance of the kits.
So the health center kits contains what we call the essential drugs and medical supplies. So before receiving these drugs, the drug availability for the essential drugs was at 79%. Now with the coming of the health center kits, we are moving from 79 to 97.9, which is essentially 98% in terms of drug availability in the district. Now, these drugs, when we talk of 98%, it's because we have a variety of drugs that are found in there. There are antibiotics, antifungals, and other drugs that are used for primary health care. So these drugs are going to cover everyone. We will take them to all the 14 facilities that we have in the district, and we will ensure that these drugs are used for the intended purpose. I would like to appeal to the...
Meanwhile, councillors who were present expressed their gratitude to the government for the timely delivery of the drugs.
I want to thank the New Dawn government to fulfill the promise we had when we were campaigning. And I believe that from now, no one will be given a prescription to go and buy medicine, since these medicine have come. That's all I can say. Especially here in my ward, there's a lot of people. Some, they don't have money.
It is the wish of government to ensure healthcare services are delivered on time. Tina Kabamba reporting for Zanis in Shuwenji District, Central Province.
Still in Central Province, Provincial Permanent Secretary Muna Mwanakampwe has flagged off the selling of cheaper mealie meal supplied by the Zambia National Service ZNS. Mr. Mwanakampwe said ZNS has offloaded over 4,000 by 25 kilogram bags of mealie meal in Kabwe. Details in the following report.
The Zambia National Service ZNS has offloaded over 4,000 by 25 kg bags of mealie meal in Kabwe to cushion the artificial shortage of mealie meal in the area. Central Province Permanent Secretary Muna Mwanakampwe says the critical mass will buy the commodity at 175 kwacha for breakfast and 155 kwacha for roller meal respectively.
For the job well done, that they are now offloading these trucks straight to the public, so that the members of the public can buy straight from the trucks. And for us, that makes us proud, and the people of Kabwe, the people of Central Province, the people of Zambia must be assured that there is no family that will be allowed to sleep hungry as a result of having no mealie meal in that particular district. If there is any district that will have no mealie meal, government is obligated and is duty bound to make sure that mealie meal is delivered to those districts. So again, to assure our people that government is on top of things, but also to warn those that want to smuggle mealie meal that government will not fold its arms akimbo and watch people who want to create artificial shortages.
And Kabwe District Commissioner Lenos Shimwambwa, who flagged off the selling of the mealie meal at Indeni grounds in Makululu, says government has responded positively to the cartels that are creating the artificial shortage of mealie meal in the district.
Of mealie meal in Kabwe. For the longest time, our colleagues have been struggling with mealie meal pricing because of some cartels. Some cartels are getting mealie meal in bulk to try and inflate the pricing. So government has to respond positively, and this is why today we are flagging off a program. Today, this morning, Saturday, with our colleagues in Makululu. We also have a similar program, a flag off in Katondo, where we flag off a price for mealie meal for breakfast, 175 and 155 for roller meal.
Meanwhile, residents have thanked government for the intervention.
I'm sure abantu mutu elanda nomba wale kutantamina bati wale kusanga ubunga.
Daniel Billy, Zanis News in Kabwe, Central Province.
Still looking at agriculture, the agriculture sector in Eastern Province is battling with the labor bottleneck resulting from dependence on manual labor. This situation is worrying government as it is now affecting both production and productivity. This came to light during the opening of the Eastern Province 45th Agricultural and Commercial Show. Here is the rest of the story.
Various institutions showed up to showcase their products and services to the many showgoers at the Eastern Province 45th Agriculture and Commercial Show. The opening ceremony was graced by a representative of the Provincial Permanent Secretary.
Government is working through the Ministry of Agriculture by promoting smallholder mechanization so that farmers can easily increase the area under cultivation and have improved yields. I therefore urge small-scale farmers to consider adapting to mechanized farming seriously by buying mechanical tools that can lessen the physical labor as we engage in farming. The province has since started receiving inputs for the 2023-2024 agriculture season, and distribution of these inputs to farmers will soon commence.
With agriculture driving the economy in the province, the event organizers made this appeal.
The potential that exists in Eastern Province is immense. The issue of climate change, which is very real, and we have all experienced it. Therefore, let us all get concerned over this phenomenon and be the solution. Let us adopt climate adaptive strategies that are being advocated by government and other stakeholders.
The theme for this year's show is inclusive economic transformation, and various players are key to this realization.
People are now able to access their pre-retirement. That one has affected a lot of people in that people don't have to wait until they reach retirement at 55, 60 or 65 before they can access their money. So it has included even the younger generation so that people can then begin to participate in the economic development of this nation.
As Workers' Compensation Fund, we've been able to contribute to economic transformation through our capital contribution and our capital injection into the economy of Zambia. Presently, the fund maintains a portfolio of about 4.2 billion, and in the recent past we've been able to participate in key projects that have made serious contribution to the economy. For example, we are one of the major financiers of the Kasumbalesa-Chingola Road.
Abigail Kashweka, Zanis, in Chipata.
Meanwhile, in Northwestern Province, government has assured farmers and other stakeholders of fair distribution of economic growth and creation of opportunities for all. Northwestern Province Minister Robert Liefu said this when he officiated at the 2023 Provincial Agriculture and Commercial Show in Solwezi District. Here's the rest of the story in the following report.
Agricultural and commercial shows are important for farmers to meet, showcase their produce, and share ideas on how different farming technologies and innovations can be used to improve productivity. In Northwestern Province, farmers from all the 11 districts have gathered in Solwezi for the 2023 Agricultural and Commercial Show under the theme Inclusive Economic Transformation. And Northwestern Province Minister Robert Liefu says the government wants to ensure that resources are channeled to more productive areas, such as agriculture, in order to stabilize the economy. The minister has also highlighted programs that the government is implementing to support the growth of the agriculture sector in the province.
My government, your government, will soon commence the rehabilitation of 62 agricultural camp houses in the province at a cost of 5,540,000 kwacha.
Meanwhile, Northwestern Provincial Agricultural and Commercial Show chairperson has appealed to the government to consider extending the Constituency Development Fund (CDF) to farmers.
But our appeal today is, can we also get to see as farmers that the CDF also trickles down to the farmers? The farmers need to have mechanization. The farmers need to ensure that the market leakage is actually accessed by having good roads.
Farmers interviewed also shared how they have interpreted this year's theme.
We should not leave out anyone. We should balance both the female and the male should get involved in the economic transformation of the country.
The minister also presented certificates awarded to some of the best exhibitors. For Zanis, in Solwazi District, Northwestern Province, I am Marin Lovu.
And on a sad note, a 15-year-old boy of Ngangula area in Sisheke district has committed suicide by electrocuting himself to a 66-kilovolt Zesco pylon. Oscar Wakumelo committed suicide yesterday. He committed suicide by climbing the 66-kilovolt Zesco pylon, which is transmitting power from Livingston to Mongo. The body has since been retrieved from the pylon and deposited at Yeta District Hospital mortuary. Oscar was in grade 8 at Nakatindi Secondary School, and reasons for his actions remain unknown. Meanwhile, Sesheke District Commissioner Alex Namenda has received the death of the young man with great shock. The visibly saddened DC has since wished the bereaved family God's comfort and strength. As we continue with the news, Serenje Boys Technical Secondary School alumni have announced plans to raise funds and rehabilitate their former school, which is in need of a facelift after 60 years of existence. And elected Minister of Education Douglas Siagalima has commended the former pupils for coming up with such a noble initiative. Details in the following report.
Education is the backdrop for the growth and prosperity of any economy. However, a holistic approach is required to shape and contribute to this very important sector. Serenje Boys Technical Secondary School alumni has embarked on a mission to renovate their former school and give it back its former glory. Minister of Education Douglas Siakalima says government alone cannot achieve the desired society.
The decision you have taken to renovate your former school is very important in that it enables the ministry to be relieved of other responsibilities and concentrate on teachers' welfare. Government alone cannot achieve the desired society, but it calls for different stakeholders, including individual citizens, to join hands with the government to ensure the education system meets the required standards to produce graduates who can contribute positively to society.
He has encouraged other pupils to plow back to their former schools.
To encourage other former pupils to plow back to their schools, this will enable the education environment to be very motivating and result into good performance.
Meanwhile, member and chairperson of Serenje Boys Technical Secondary School alumni Martin Mwamba observes that infrastructure at the school has deteriorated and is in need of rehabilitation.
The school has seen its better days from the time it was constructed, and the infrastructure is deteriorated due to wear and tear, with notable areas of major concern being water integration and sanitation.
And school head teacher George Kungu says that free education has led to a growth in the school's population. At the end of the function, 56,000 kwacha was raised in form of cash and pledges. Zanis reports in Serenje District, Central Province.
And in sports news, Mansa Municipal Council Mayor Jiko Musuku has disclosed that the district is ready to host the Zambia Local Authority Sports Association Ball Games. Mr. Musuku says measures have been put in place to ensure that all the games are held in a very conducive environment, which includes the playing grounds. Speaking during a press briefing, the mayor revealed that so far about 37 local authorities in the country have registered to take part in the Zalasa Games. He has further disclosed that over 2,000 delegates are expected to come and witness the games. And Zambia Local Authority Sports Association President Clement Mwila has thanked the Mansa Municipal Council for accepting to host this year's games. Mr. Mwila notes that such games are important in the promotion of health lifestyles among council workers, as well as promoting unity at the workplace. Mr. Mwila, who is also Milenge Town Council Chairperson, has urged principal officers in local authorities to remain supportive by releasing enough funds towards the preparations. The Zalasa president has also urged government to fund community sports under the Constituency Development Fund, saying doing so will promote sports in local authorities across the country.
As a local authority, we're also privileged to host the Zalasa tournament 2023, and we must assure you that as Mansa we are ready, all the facilities are ready. This also presents opportunities to the local people of Mansa, and among them we know that businesses will thrive, businesses will have customers. So the interactions as all our participants come into the district, Mr. President, be rest assured that as Mansa, we are well set.
I'm appealing to the police officers. The government has spoken. The only thing which is needed now is to engage us as Zalasa. And this will be attainable. Because most police officers do not understand the importance of sports in the community, to the government. That can we have sports being funded through CDF?
Well, that item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go away, let's take another look at the top stories in our news. President Hakainde Hichilema visits Ghana's recycling plant. Kapiri Girls Secondary School to reopen on July 17th. Zambia National Service offloads Millimil in Kabwe. And in sports, Mansa Council set to host Zalasa Games. Thank you so much for watching. That is all we had packaged for you on the news. On behalf of the entire news production crew, my name is Henry Himonde. Until next time, it's goodbye.